Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Paul Lopez.
And I'm Sabrina Daly. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. How are you this morning, Sabrina?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fine. It's Tuesday, January 6, 2025.
It is.
Wherever you are out there across the length and breadth of this country or another country somewhere outside of Belize, we want to say happy morning to you, I guess. We do hope you're having a pleasant morning out there. For me, while we had the show last week, Friday, as the official start of the new year, the first show of the new year for me, this more feels like the first show for the new year for me, because I feel like Friday was a test run. I could say where the new year's kind of say, and then I'll see if I'm buying to it next week.
Yeah.
Well, I've bought into it.
It was a buffer.
Yeah, and the new year was a very convincing salesperson. They told me either I buy into it or not, and I had to buy.
Best offer I got.
Best offer I have, and so I'm taking it as it comes. But yes.
Yeah, well, we do have some topics, some conversations that you can look forward to throughout the course of this morning, including some topics we think you should know before you leave your homes this morning. But let's start off with what the show lineup will look like throughout the course of this beautiful Tuesday morning, starting off with understanding remittances and its impact on Belizeans. Then investing in the benefits of renewable energy. Also, exploring the world with Via Latina. That sounds nice. And finally, we'll also be playing a bit of a game called Mind Over Matter. I feel like that's like my 2026 mantra for sure.
All right, so the goal today will be to manage all the conversations so that we have enough time to play Mind Over Matter. And you know, we don't rush through it, right?
Yeah,
so
let's hope we get through. Be with us, guys. Let's just get through it.
We're going to have you keep us accountable.
Time check.
Say, Paul, you talk too much, man. Sabrina, you shut up, man. Make we get to this last event for the morning. But yes, Sabrina, aside from our show lineup, of course, we spend the first half hour or 20 minutes in the morning discussing some of the relevant topics that either comes over from yesterday's discussion or maybe some stuff that have developed overnight. And so in our first topic for the 5 things you need to know, the Belize aligns with CARICOM as Venezuela faces political upheaval. Yeah, that one that we've been talking about quite a bit. Panton unveils, this is UDP leader Tracy Panton, unveils UDP shadow cabinet to challenge PUP dominance. Do you think shadow cabinets are effective? Are they not? Well, that's a conversation to be had. Gunman kills Lord's Bank resident as family sleeps. Quite a tragedy there. Young father found stabbed to death in supermarket parking lot. Another tragedy also in the Ladyville Lord's Bank area. And last but certainly not least, will motorists, specifically motorcyclists, be required to wear reflective gear in Belize?
That's an interesting one.
There's another development. I feel like every so often in intervals, don't want to put any time period to it so that nobody comes after me. I said, not every 2 weeks we bring out a new legislation, but every so often there's suggestions as to how we could make the whole traffic issue more safer, and of course you always have pushback as well, but we'll get to that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Let's begin, Paul, with what I think everyone worldwide is still talking about, and that has to do with the developments over the course of the weekend. You would know that we also provided some extensive coverage or context to what is taking place in Venezuela that also involves the United States of America. Based on the conversation yesterday that was provided by April Anisani, we got some historical context between what has been that conflict or that divide, so to speak, between the U.S. and Venezuela. The latest update is that President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, they were brought before the courts. They pleaded not guilty to federal drug trafficking and other charges. And at this time now, we know that another court date is set for March 17th.
Yeah.
What I think, though, is interesting was the conversation that we were able to have on the ground yesterday. Right. Yourself, Paul, you were able to go out in parts of Belize City and ask the people of Belize City their thoughts on what is taking place in Venezuela. You would know that Belize has had a long-standing friendship with Venezuela. You would remember the bonds that we would have signed on to, the big loans that we would have gotten. And so it's not the first time that we're hearing about Venezuela. Perhaps in this manner, it feels kind of like history that is taking place, that's being recorded in real time. And so I'd like for us to perhaps give an overall coverage of what has taken place since perhaps yesterday, and then of course getting the voice of the people on the ground as well.
Certainly. So as you mentioned, the Nicolas Maduro and his wife, they were taken before the court and they both pled not guilty. One of the things for me that is standing out is the position that former Vice President, now President Delcy Rodriguez, finds herself in, right?
Yeah.
Because she has to play a delicate balance between what she's calling out as a kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, while also seeking to say, hey, we want to work with the U.S. So it's like, how do you balance that, right?
Yeah.
Calling them out, the same people calling for accountability, for the same people that you're saying, at the end of the day, kidnapped your president. But on the ground here in Belize, the conversations I'm hearing doesn't have much to do or a lot to do with the Petro-Carib loan. It doesn't have a lot to do with whether or not we are indebted to Venezuela in
or we will
way.
Be impacted in any way.
Right.
It's just kind of like looking from the outside in.
That should be had, and perhaps are being had in some circles. But what I see the main conversation being had right now is about power, right? And global power and nation power, and who has the most power and who could usurp their power on another country. And you know, there's always these big names that come up: Russia, China, the USA. And so a lot of people, based on just conversations I had on the ground yesterday, are looking at it from that perspective, from the grander perspective, geopolitical, who's stronger than who, and in a sense kind of pulling away from the conversation in terms of not putting ourselves in it to see how we could be impacted, right? And that was clear from the conversations we had yesterday on the ground, and perhaps we could go to that Vox Pop. Do we have that queued up?
I believe we have that.
All right, let's listen to some of the conversations we had yesterday.
Statement.
I think what the United States did, well, Donald Trump, because our Congress is supposed to approve anything like that, and they didn't. But what he did was wrong because they actually abduct Maduro and his wife, similar to the guy here in Belize that went to Guatemala. Yeah. But to me, it's wrong in a sense because the United States had a hidden agenda. They keep saying about drugs and them pills and all that nonsense. That was just a front to use that as a reason to go, you know what I'm saying, in their country and did what they did. You know, it's all about the oil from day one. You know, but now you see what he said after he did it? we go run Venezuela, and we go do something concerning the oil system. So you know what I'm saying, eventually come out and say it. I guess what he really wanted to say from the beginning.
As a teacher here in Belize, what I think the only two countries that can stop Donald Trump right now is Russia and China. Now, if Russia and China would kidnap Trump and take him for violation of UN Charter laws, what would happen? A world war, right? So it's just a matter of time now. We have Russia and China demanding that Trump release Maduro at once. All right, if that doesn't happen, man, the world's gonna go crazy. If Russia and China don't put Trump on his back, then Trump can do anything he feels like doing. So Russia and China, if you're hearing, hey, look, man, put Trump on his back and let him know.
Honestly, I don't have any words for it. I believe it's unnecessary. And honestly, my prayers are with Venezuela right now.
Wow, a lot of people think Maduro to be a dictator and that this is justified.
I heard about it, but I'm not sure. But all that I can say is I have my prayers with them.
I am the only Belizean who took a charge for him in Belize. Thank God that the case was thrown out. I support that man because he's against abortion, he's against the homosexual openness, and he's against open border. But giving Donald Trump the power, he's very revengeful. Now he's showing the world that if he don't like your country leader, he will label that leader as a drug trafficker, and that's an opportunity for him to invade your country.
But what about the argument that Nicolas Maduro is part and parcel of transnational crime that's affecting this region?
Look what Israel is doing to the Palestinian. Bomb hospital, bomb school.
All right. Yeah, so that's some of the comments we received from people on the ground yesterday. And as I said, it's primarily against the power that the U.S. displayed when they took President Nicolas Maduro and his wife from their country in Venezuela. And for the most part, a small sample size, those people that we spoke with, they're not in agreement with how it played out. On the other hand, we were having a discussion about those people in Venezuela that are actually rejoicing.
Yeah.
Right? And asking if they, you know, have a right to rejoice, or what are they rejoicing?
Yes.
Because the
More
conversation is, all right, if you are rejoicing the fact that you are essentially free from whatever oppression you believe you've been experiencing, then could it also be seen that on the other hand, you are in a position where another country is
Oppressing you.
It
just seems
right?
more glamorous
And
because of the great United States.
And I think perhaps those who are not in agreement with how this entire thing played out might be saying that at this point, that, you know what, well, we got rid of one oppressor, right, based on those who are celebrating what happened, but we, as those who oppose it, may view the United States as an oppressor themselves. And that is why you had people out at the court yesterday in New York when President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were brought, demanding that he be freed, demanding that the U.S. take their hands off the country's oil and essentially free the president and his wife.
And I love that you pointed out the last part there, take their hands off the country's oil. We heard from the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. He essentially, have been signaling that the United States wouldn't directly govern Venezuela, but they would be exerting tremendous leverage through an oil quarantine. And so we've been hearing a lot about the reason they've been doing this has been centered around the drug trafficking situation.
Yeah.
But the main conversation right now
It's
is their
about
resource,
oil.
their
Yeah.
oil. And of course, I don't know, Paul, if you were online over the weekend, but when all of this unfolded, there were a lot of thoughts from Belizeans on Facebook, kind of really sharing their thoughts on it. And it was also centered around the oil situation. We heard that President Donald Trump said that they'll be taking charge. They're going to run Venezuela. But essentially, they're going to run their oil situation as well.
To me, based on some developments from yesterday, it appears that it's going even beyond the oil conversation in terms of the governance that the government of the United States will essentially have charge of in Venezuela, because now, yesterday in an interview with President Trump, he spoke about, they were asking him about elections and when Venezuela will be able to have an election, because that's a part of this entire thing, right? So if you say this is a communist state and they are against democracy and against this election process, then all right, now that you have some level of authority over it and you have some say, when will they be able to have elections? Well, this is beyond oil now, because what the president said is they're not going to be able to have elections anytime soon. We have to, in his words, we have to nurse the country back to health. We have to fix it before they're able to have an election. And what we are hearing from other country representatives, especially coming out of the UN Security Council meeting yesterday, is essentially an echoing of the fact that this is, at the end of the day, a sovereign nation. And they reiterated, many countries, including CARICOM region and Belize in a sense, reiterated the fact that this is a sovereign country. There are international laws that speak to something like that. And people are saying, well, if the government of the United States could do something like this in Venezuela, then what precedence does it set in terms of, all right, if I have bad blood with another country, shouldn't it be easy for me to do something like that?
Yeah. You know, I think though their situation is so complex that it's not, it's so complex really, and that is the reason why there was this opportunity for the United States to jump in and essentially get what they really wanted, if that is the case, which is the oil. We know that the situation with elections, for example, is very, very serious, where some people in Venezuela didn't even recognize President Maduro as president because they didn't recognize the election as legal. They've claimed that he has taken on a sort of dictator role as well. And so perhaps that is one of the reasons why we are seeing people celebrate his removal, when we think of what oppression in that sense would look like. And then, of course, the United States coming on, that begs the other question, if that is also a form of oppression as well. We do know that they do have their acting vice president now at the helm, and she finds herself in a sticky position trying to say the right thing, especially with the United States being so close now, but also ensuring that their people feel that they have a sense of sovereignty too, that they have a sense of safety there. We don't want this to escalate any further. I've been seeing some reports that they're in talks with Russia. I know that a lot of information is going to be swirling out. Some might be true, some might be false. So definitely try to find sources that are legitimate. But we're definitely following this closely.
One of the implications for Belize, just as a final note on it, is the fact that a lot of the drug planes that come into the region or come at this side of the world comes from Venezuela. And I've heard it said in other parts of the media. The thing is, I did a report on drug plane landings like middle of last year, after there was this like conflicting report from some international website about how many planes landed in Belize at a certain point, and there were clarifications that were being made. And so I went back on the files and I did a bit of study to see where these drug planes are coming from. And a lot of them were, we haven't heard any reports recently, but coming from Venezuela. So as a result of Belize being a transit point, we were and we continue to be blacklisted by the United States, right? As a what major, you know, the major, like a major transit point for drugs, right? And so now it begs the question, if the U.S. has some level of charge over Venezuela, if their intent continues to be, in part, the war on drugs coming out of that area, then how will that impact our status as a transit country, right? Will they be able to stifle that operation so that in the future we don't see any more of these drug planes coming out of Venezuela and landing in Belize, so that then our name is cleared and we are no longer on that list? For me, that would be an effective, right? That would be an effective approach to their war on drugs in the region. But that is yet to be seen. But there's a lot of benefit that would come with that.
All right. Well, we will be following this as it further develops, and share your thoughts on the situation coming out of Venezuela. Are you following the news taking place there? Do you think that this will have any implications on Belize and the economy even? We want to hear your thoughts on that. But Paul, we do have to move things along. We have a show lineup, and that also includes a weather update. And so let's see what the official weather from the folks at the National Meteorological Service will look like. Here's our eye on the weather. All right, we have a bit of some technical difficulties, so we might be bringing back that eye on the weather a little bit later on in the show. But here's our first conversation you can expect after the break. When we come back, we are going to be diving into the remittances conversation. So we want to understand more deeply what that is all about, and of course, its impact on Belizeans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This Christmas is extra special for us at BB Insurance because it's our first. You welcomed us into your lives, and we couldn't be more grateful. Your trust means everything. From all of us at BB Insurance, thank you for being a part of our journey. Here's to many more holidays together. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a new year, we remain committed to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepaid plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. Smart strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making Smart a reliable companion for every journey. Smart launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At Smart, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever. Ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most: the communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
In the heart of the Canyo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. they are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Crew's Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Welcome back. I know it's still me, very much here. We are going now back to our weather update, and we're going to get that official update with Paul as our guide this morning. Paul, let's go over to you.
Yes. So this is our eye on the weather for today. It's today's forecast, and the sun is shaking things up a little bit, kind of taking away that cold that we've been feeling. So it's going to be sunny with a few cloudy spells today, and partly cloudy to clear tonight. Showers, if any, will be light and isolated. I know it's not only in my neck of the woods that I'm feeling a bit chilly, and so it's good to welcome in the sun and feel some of that heat on our skins. Today's temperature along the coast is going to be 82 degrees Fahrenheit and 73 on the lower end. Inland, 86 degrees and 64 on the lower end, and in the hills, 74 and 58 on the lower end. So we're still not above 90. So, you know, still a bit on the cooler end, but I'm not complaining. In the extended forecast, let's look into tomorrow. Along the coast is going to be 83 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast and 87 degrees inland. On Thursday, 84 along the coast and 87 inland. Looking into Friday, all right, things are picking up a bit with the heat. 86 degrees along the coast and 90 inland. Then on Saturday, 86 along the coast and 89 inland. So temperature picks up a little bit into the weekend. A good time to go to the river, go to the beach. Do exactly what you want to do to have fun. Marine conditions. The sea state is going to be slight to light chop today. Winds going to blow from east at 5 to 10 knots. Tides, today's low at 6:38 a.m. and today's high at 12:35 p.m. Then another low at 6:06 p.m. and then tomorrow's high at 12:15 a.m. And then finally, our astronomical forecast for those sunrise chasers. Sun rose this morning at 6:24 a.m. and for those sunset chasers, the sun is going to set at 5:32 p.m. So right after you clock off from work, you will find a nice spot on the east and watch that sun set. The moon sets at 9:09 a.m. and the moon rises at 9:04 a.m. Did I get that right? The sun rises on the east and sets on the west. Somewhere there, we have figured it out before the morning over. And that does it for our eye on the weather, courtesy our friends at the National Meteorological Service of Belize. Sab, back to you.
All right, Paul, thank you. You took us on a journey there.
What is it, though? What is it?
Let's move on.
Oh, you didn't research it?
Now, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have that conversation on remittances and, of course, its impact on Belizeans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
In the face of tragedy, you depend on accurate and timely information. In times of triumph, you seek to be inspired. You demand transparency and accountability. Your desire is to know and to understand, to be heard and seen. I take pride in telling stories that safeguard communities. Your dedication and success live on through these reports. Getting to the truth is my duty. My unwavering commitment is to tell the stories that matter the most to you. I am News 5.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are having our first conversation this morning, and as I mentioned before the break, we are going to be diving deeper into understanding remittances and its impacts on Belizeans. We have here with us Ramil Arana, no stranger to you guys. He's an economist. A little bit later on in the show, we'll also be diving deeper into the hydropower investment conversation that was taking place in the latter part of 2025 as well. Ramil, a pleasure having you here with us.
Good morning. I'm back for the first time this year.
Yeah.
Good to be
It
back.
feels like just yesterday we had you.
Might have been.
Last week.
Might have been.
Now let's jump into the conversation of remittances. Just moments ago, we were talking behind the scenes, and we were essentially saying, you know, for a lot of people, they might have benefited one way or another from remittances, but perhaps the name itself, they probably were not aware of what it is.
Yeah.
Paul mentioned it doesn't even sound like a sexy word. And so the task this morning is to make it palatable, make it understanding for you guys. And of course, if there are any questions, anything that we would have missed, to cover all the bases through this conversation with you, Ramil. Let's talk about remittances and begin perhaps with the name itself. What is it?
Well, like I said, like we had been speaking about remittances. It's an economic term. First of all, there are probably thousands of studies done on the topic itself, but the name to everybody out there will just not ring a bell.
Yeah.
For me and for most people on the streets, not on the streets, but most people in general that aren't in the economic realm. You talk about go pick up your MoneyGram.
So we're going to collect with remittances.
Pick up your Western Union. That is essentially a remittance. That is something that is financial aid that's provided by members of maybe family, maybe friends,
loved ones
that are abroad. So everybody understands when you see that line at the Western Union, you're going to go pick up money, and because that money has more than likely has come from abroad. Right?
So essentially, we to go pick up with remittance.
Oh, exactly. That's what you're going to go pick up. But like I said, the word is just in a different realm.
Yeah. Now we have a word to add to your vocabulary.
Have you come across any studies that shows how much remittance is flowing into the country on an annual basis?
These numbers are actually held by the central bank because it's a part of a broader calculation in terms of what we call the balance of payments, which is money coming in and money going out. The number really evades me. I had it in my head this morning, but I do know it provides a significant amount of flows within Belize, right? So a rough estimate, I would say that it's probably over like $100 million.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it's in the millions.
It might be more.
So it's definitely in the millions.
It's definitely a lot because, of course, because of the just the culture. It's a bit hard to migrate now, given the powers that be in the north, because most of us, we always end up in the United States, but a lot of us, we could just look up and say we have family up there.
Yeah.
And a lot of these family members on a month-to-month basis, or even whatever interval it may be, will just send you a little bit of money and everything like that. So, and then there's individuals who go to America, who go to England, go anywhere in an attempt to try to better their lives, you know. They try to make that money, and they still have the family here at home because they didn't have a chance to relocate the family. So you see those monies coming in on a month-to-month basis. So those remittances are really, really significant.
Yeah.
Using or benefiting from the time that we have with you here this morning, I think we could really dive as deeply as possible into this conversation. We know Belize being a part of the Caribbean region, and even in Central America, it has been almost that cultural thing that you'd have family members living in the United States. And that's usually where we would see a lot of these remittances come from. But for people who might still not understand the transition that takes place, what are some of the sources, the businesses, the outlets that people would collect these remittances using?
Oh, yeah. So there are different ways to send it. The most popular being like the Western Unions and, and the MoneyGrams of the world. So you go to the offices, you pay whoever is sending will have to pay those fees and send you whichever amount. And the fees depend on the quantum, the amount of money that's being sent, right? So there are those that are the regular ways to send money. And now even the Western Unions and the MoneyGrams, they do work through bank transfers as well. So you could get the money sent straight to the banks and all of that. It's not that common, that the latter part. It's not as common as the first, because again, when we're talking about the dynamic of people who are receiving funds, a lot of these people aren't really within the formal financial system, so they might not have the bank accounts and all of that. That's why it's easier to go to the Western Union, where you could go get cash in hand, whereas you'd have to have a bank account for your loved one to send those funds to. And unfortunately, in Belize, where we don't have most people owning a bank account and doing regular banking activities. You know, those statistics again, they're recorded in the financial inclusion report provided by the central bank as well. So I'd call it like over 80, about 75 to 80% of the funds, the remittances coming in, would go to the Western Unions of the world.
And the MoneyGrams.
So one of the things we've highlighted in the conversation so far is that these remittances, they oftentimes comes as support to Belizeans or citizens, those living in Belize, and sometimes they come as savings from, you know, somebody in abroad. One of the discussions happening right now is about an increase in fees. How will that impact people reliant on remittances?
No, that all depends on the individual who is sending the money.
Okay,
all right, because what is going to be happening, I personally just looked at what's going on behind that, and I feel like it's a method of trying to tax Americans more, or taxing the American citizens some more, because what is happening is that there is a tax on these international transfers that are done via cash, that are done via checks, and all of those things. So the physical means of doing the transfers.
So is it an effort to promote going cashless?
It's an effort to promote going cashless, but within the American system, they are taxed based on certain expenditures.
Okay.
Right. So if you are providing these transfers via cash, that money is not in the system, so it can't be tracked.
Ah.
So I think it's a method to get more people to use the 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 online methods so that money could be easier tracked by the US tax system as well, so that they understand, okay, this person has X amount of funds, because if this is off the system, then they have no way of taxing these individuals, right? So again, they're turning to the cash methods, the checks and all of that. I think it's and the money orders. Once you are bringing those in, those are taxed at 1%. So if I'm sending money to you, then I will have to pay that extra fee, because you already pay a fee to send the funds already, and then I'll have to pay that extra 1% of the sum that I'm paying. So if I'm sending $100, I have to pay $1 extra. You know, so that is going to be what is going to be the case. $1,000 is going to be $10 extra. And again, the fees are already, the fees depend on the amount of money you're sending, but the fees are already set there, because of course the Western Unions have to earn their money. I know I'm calling Western Union name a lot. It's not a bad thing, but they have to earn their money. All the middlemen have to earn their money. The financial system has to get their tax. Uncle Sam has to get his tax as well. So
it's
increasing.
essentially a 1% tax increase.
Yeah, you're increasing the amount. You're increasing the amount on the sender. Now, if the sender is, you know, we have that family dynamic where, okay, maybe a mother is over there and she's sending money, and it's America is expensive. If anybody does not know, America is very expensive. So if they're already making that sacrifice to send you that $500 there, when there's a extra tax, what mainly might happen is that you're not going to receive $500 anymore. You might receive like a 4. You might receive a little bit less. So the individuals that are receiving these funds will end up receiving maybe receiving a bit less, depending on the inclination of the individual, of the sender.
So the sender might decide, look, this is my firm amount that I can send you, or I'm going to pay the difference of the 1% taxation, so you can still get your amount of money. Now, we know that a lot of people have been talking about, you know, this means of how they've been collecting money. I appreciate that you spoke of the effort on the other side, where they're encouraging them to go cashless so they can monitor expenditures as well. And I want to take the conversation into people that could potentially be blacklisted, because I've been seeing some comments here. An individual said, why are people getting blacklisted for just getting a lead change now and then, especially on MoneyGram? How could you respond to that?
That one is.
Do people get blacklisted when they use this means?
The thing is, like, there's a lot of rules and regulations applied across the board. One of the biggest is the anti-money laundering type rules and all of that, and anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism. AML-CFT is what you call it. And the thing with those rules, they're very thorough and they're very specific. And I don't think we have been used to those rules, you know. And if anything is flagged, like, you know, in bigger economies and all of that, anything you're flagged for, the simplest of things, you might end up on one of those lists, even if you don't belong there or not. Right now, I think I cannot speak for certain as to why these individuals are getting blacklisted, but I do know there might be some implications as it pertains to maybe financing gangs or financing different illicit activities. So that is where the focus is normally on. And as we progress from year to year, you get a little bit more surgical in terms of what you do. So you're going to, and especially if you have these things on record, you have an individual receiving this MoneyGram, they might not be working for years or whatever. So there might be an element that's saying that this individual is involved with something illicit,
suspicious.
Or suspicious activities.
I used to be an avid user of I think it's MoneyGram or Western Union, and the process is surgical in terms of how they pick apart everything to try and essentially establish that this transaction is legitimate, that the source of the funds, that it is legitimate, and that the person who is receiving the money is a legitimate receiver per se, or somebody that I accept should receive this money. And one of the things I've seen flagged before is the frequency of transactions, right, to a specific individual. So I know of a family member who was flagged, and a part of what they understood it to be was how frequent they were getting money, like every week. One transaction come in, and then...
Yeah, that's suspicious.
Right, and then they're like, all right, so why you get money every week, right? When it might just be, you know, Bale love her so much that it is send wali remittance every week. But,
Yes.
but for them, they're surgical about it.
They have to understand these things because, like I said, in that anti-money laundering, you know, if there is any way, shape, or form that you are maybe like washing dirty money in any case,
right,
then that has to be investigated. They have to take a look at that, you know. And I'm not sure. Well, there was a couple of years ago where you are only allowed to receive a specific amount of money and allowed to send a specific amount of money, etc., because of COVID. So there are different factors that are involved. Back in like in 2020, 2021, it was just the amount of foreign exchange within Belize. So you couldn't really send or receive an amount, and they put their limits and quotas and amounts. So that gradually changed as the environment got a little bit better. So you can see there's a lot that's being done across the board, and these are multi-billion-dollar industries, so they have to ensure that everything is safe. You know, so that's more or less where it's going. So for everybody being blacklisted, it's just the perception that the transaction might not be on the up and up. That's all. It's just the perception.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It just means that there is a thought that something wrong might be going on.
And at the end of the day, you're using somebody else's system. So whether you like it or not, you have to subject yourself to their rules and their processes. Mr. Arana, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive a bit into Belize's investment landscape, looking at the Hydro Belize potential investment opportunities there, and perhaps where else are there opportunities for Belizeans to invest in the new year. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
Start your day the right way with your morning boost. Get moving with energizing workouts, refreshing yoga sessions, and easy tips to keep your mind and body in balance. From fitness to personal growth and positivity, we're here to kickstart your mornings with motivation that lasts all day. Wake up to wellness. Your morning boost every weekday at 6 a.m. only on Greater Belize Media.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Greater Belize Media introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs in Greater Belize Media prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Greater Belize Media Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is the second part of our conversation with economist Ramil Arana. In the first part of the conversation, we spoke a bit about remittances and those extra fees that are being attached to remittances, and perhaps how it will affect our collection of those remittances here in Belize. And so that was a crash course 101 and remittances / Western Union, MoneyGram money, right? Now, in this second part of the conversation, we're going to be looking a bit at investment. Do you have that extra change in your pocket to buy a share or two from Hydro Belize Limited, or are you looking to invest elsewhere? Well, we're going to dive into some of that with Mr. Arana this morning. Thanks for staying, Mr. Arana.
I'm here for to share that information. Right?
All right, excellent. So, Hydro Belize Limited, were you expecting the shares to come on the market so soon, and how did it strike you when you saw the shares?
Well, it was kind of expected. I again, as an economist, I follow the government of Belize, and I know the historical context of GOB, and not casting any aspersions on any administration, but we've always ran a budget deficit, which means that we're spending more than we're bringing in. So in my mind, governments are always broke. That's and again, no aspersions on any administration. So when the talk came about purchasing the hydro dam, I knew that funds had to be raised somewhere for those dams to be purchased. And yeah, so it wasn't strange. I did expect that there was going to be some type of fundraising going on as it pertains to that. Right?
Help us understand what it means to buy shares in a company like Hydro Belize Limited, and at $20 per share, I think that's $29 per share.
Yeah. So when you purchase shares in any organization, in anything, you're buying a ownership stake.
Okay.
Right. So effectively, if you purchase one share, you have your $29 worth of a company. Now, $29 worth of the Hydro Belize Limited pales in comparison to, I think it's probably about $222 million asset value. It definitely pales in comparison to that, but you have a small ownership stake within that company, right? So that's why, like I said, funds had to be raised. The government is raising money by issuing shares. So you purchase that ownership stake, and that ownership stake will contribute towards, I believe, of course, paying off the cost of of purchasing these dams by the government. So I believe that they have 8,000 shares available, 8 million. 8 million shares available, and they have launched, they are raising funds by issuing the 4 million shares now. Each of those 4 million shares cost the $29. So they're trying to raise a maximum of, I believe, 116 million. I think that's the...
For a lot of people who have never invested in stocks, purchased shares other than what they would have at their local credit union, they don't know how or what that return would look like. You're saying that it's $29, but for the local person on the ground, they want to know at what point my 29 will turn 50, at what point I'm going to see something in return in terms of my investment.
The thing is, there's a lot more as it pertains to that. That's why when the government launched, they sent out a prospectus.
Yes.
That prospectus was lengthy.
I didn't see any
117
return rate on that prospectus, though.
The return rate isn't determined directly, individually. At that point in time, they have now, when you are issuing, like I said, you have to go through a process. You have to understand your potential returns on your investments and your dividends is going to be determined by the profitability of the business and the cash flow of that business, right? So when you issue the prospectus gives you a lot of different information. And again, it's good idea that we're having the conversation now, because it's going to be closed at the 20th. The share issue is going to be closed at the 20th of this month, right? So when you look at the prospectus gives you what's important to individuals is going to be the financial performance of the company. So the revenues, I believe that within the past 2 years, and the dams have earned approximately about a little bit above 50 million Belize dollars a year, and the operational costs have been probably closer to like about 20 million. Somewhere there about. Good. And then in the projections now, because they have to give you a projection, because you are investing in the projection. So I am expecting the company to make that same around $49 million a year, and going to have net profits, which is again your revenues less your expenses, of about $29 million.
So it's around the same.
It's around the same. It's leveling off. What is happening, and I think a vital reason for the purchase of the dams was there was a clause in some of the agreements with the hydro dam for there to be an escalating cost in terms of the amount that they charge to BEL for BEL to purchase power. So I believe that the government tried to intervene on that end to ensure that the cost of power stays a bit leveled and
for
doesn't
BEL.
for BEL and
the country as a
Belizeans.
whole,
Yes,
of course.
and that's where I wanted to take the conversation next, because people want to know about the investment, what the return will look like, and also, will this impact the cost of energy in the future? Can this investment potentially lower their electricity rate in the future?
And again, like I said, it's a long explanation. I'm trying to get it in a nutshell. But like I said, I think that was one of the primary reasons for the government. They tried to intervene on behalf of the people, right? So there was some arrangement signed many moons ago, I think before anybody that's at Fortis now was there, and that arrangement wasn't particularly ideal because the cost of power would have been increasing. So again, I think the government intervened in good faith and tried to ensure that the cost of power stays very level in that case. However, there will be negotiations as to how much that will improve, because of course the profitability of the company and the cash flow will determine how much dividends are being paid.
Right.
And those dividends have to be declared by the board of directors of the company.
Okay.
Right. So again, we're looking at the projections have the company earning probably about $29 million a year. I believe that's in the prospectus. Again, there's a lot of numbers in my head, so don't quote me on it. Pick up the prospectus and take a look. And I think they have a set amount of dividends that they plan to give out every year.
Yeah. So essentially, what I hear you saying is that people who purchase shares will get their returns from the profit, right, that the company makes.
Definitely.
And so the company, Hydro Belize Limited, has to be profitable for shareholders to get a return. And in their prospectus, they're saying we're going to be profitable, and for years to come. So essentially, this is in your view, is this a solid, sound, and safe investment?
It is a solid, sound, and safe investment. Again, I didn't see the prospectus before, and I do know Fortis provides they provide their financials on a year-to-year basis. I think it's a internationally traded company as well. That usually determines more or less the share value. But on a year-to-year basis, the net profits of the company has been significant, right? The only thing, and again the prospectus outlines this, is what could be some of the risk factors involved. And some of the risk factors, of course, there are like environmental risks, the risk of flooding and how that would affect the profitability of the company. Natural disasters, they're listed as one of those. The payments provided by BEL for power, that's because that's their only source of, that's their main source of income. So they said if within the prospectus, they said if BL pays, then we're fine.
If they can't pay,
then we're in problems.
And BL is asking for a rate increase right now, but
yes, that's another story. And they list political risk. You know, the macroeconomy, if there's a dive in the economic state of Belize, you know, there's a lot of different risks involved, especially when you're looking
as with any investment, though.
That's with any and every investment. There's not, I don't believe right now there are many investments worldwide that is giving you in excess of like 5%. Thereof, because it's really tough out there.
Yeah.
Not lying, it's tough out there. So they list out the risk factors that are out there for everybody to see. Okay, this is what you're looking at. So if you make your investment, it's going to be, you're going to have to be aware of these factors, and you don't go to those meetings and the general meetings and say, but we need our money, because if you see something occurring, you see, okay, there's some type of political upheaval, there's some type of, you know, you have to understand that is going to affect your dividends, right? But within the past few years, I believe that there has been a significant amount of dividends being provided. And I do believe that the dividends were above 20 million, no, 18. I don't want to be quoted on the number. I have the figure. I could look up the figure right now, but it's in the prospectus. They have an amount of dividends that they intend to provide.
One of the reasons why I asked about solid, safe, and sound investment is because essentially we will always need electricity, right? And if BEL continues to operate, which we hope they do,
Oh, no,
right? They'll always have to buy energy, and Hydro Belize Limited provides that energy.
That's our biggest source of electricity for the country.
Right. So going into the future, there will always be a flow.
There are plans to diversify our energy needs within the country as well.
Unless there are other alternatives.
Oh yes, like I think there within the recent years there's been a push to look into solar energy, and that's fine and everything, because I do believe CFE in Mexico provides over 55% of our energy needs. So if we plan to ensure that we have energy security within Belize, then we still need additional sources.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't detract from the normal function of the hydro dam, of the hydro dams and their profitability as well.
Okay.
The only thing that one of the things that you'd probably have to take a look at, and it is listed in the prospectus as well, is the reinvestments that are needed to ensure that the hydro dam is running efficiently and state of the art and all of that. Because if they do need some capital investment to have everything running for years to come, and that again might detract a little bit from the profitability, because that has to be paid out of the cash flow to the company and all of that. So those things are there. Again, several risk factors, several things that you have to look out for. Even diversification shouldn't detract from what we did, because like I said, if the solar energy comes and carves out a 10%, then that means, I think from our standpoint as Belizeans, we'll take away that 10% from the CFE share, because we want to support our local sources, and we want to be secure, energy secure in Belize.
I was also mentioning moments ago about alternatives. Do you know of any alternatives that exist for investments in national energy?
Or Belize?
National energy? Ooh, that one is the thing with the Belizean landscape or investment landscape is that the majority of the companies that are large enough to issue shares, etc., and are making that type of money and are profitable on a year-to-year basis, don't really want to issue the shares, you know. So the bigger businesses in Belize, a lot of them are like family run.
Okay.
And internal investment, and they receive investments and financial assistance from different sources. So that's kind of tough within Belize. BWS, I think, was the last. No, I think BWS and BEL within the past 5 years had issued some debentures. Debentures and shares, they kind of operate the same way. You invest a fixed amount, and you receive your returns based on the fixed amount. Debentures is more of a straightforward loan. So it's like you buy $1,000 debentures. They say that you're going to receive 5%. You receive your 5% based on that. Yeah. You receive your 50% based on your shares. Are the same thing. If you have $100 shares and you said, okay, there's going to be a 5% dividend. So based on the share value that you have, you get your 5% based on the share value. So it's so those possibilities exist, and the only thing is with those shares, with those dividends, with all of those financial securities available in Belize, except for government, because GOB provides treasury bills, treasury notes. Now again, the information on treasury bills and treasury notes can be found on the Central Bank website, and it can be found at the Ministry of Finance. The treasury bills and the treasury notes are the only source of investment that provide a secondary market. And what a secondary market is like a market where you can providing somebody that will purchase those investments back from you when you want to liquidate. If you have those debentures and all of that, if you have your Hydro Belize Limited shares, if you want to liquidate your investment,
Or
then you
opt
or opt out, you have to maybe reach out to the company and they will assist you in that. But it's not an easy way to go about doing that, because if I own a debenture, I might have to hold it until maturity. If I run into a little bit of cash crunch, I can't go to what I call a secondary market is a stock market. Like in the US, there's a stock market where you could buy and sell shares, etc., and all of that. So without that, it's kind of hard to liquidate your investment.
Yeah. So,
right? So
I think what we'll need to do at some point is have a investment 101 crash course for Belizeans to get a better understanding of
what
where
to invest in,
opportunities,
how do you invest?
right? What investment is, where opportunities for investments exist. Like in my view, utilities can be one of the more sound means of investments for Belizeans once it's affordable enough, like what the government is trying to do with the Hydro Belize Limited at $29. But then when you talk about treasury bills and treasury notes, well, like the Belize City Council, for example, they present these opportunities as safe and as secure. One, because, well, people say government got money, right? And they have to pay their bill, and regardless of who in a power, government are government, and they have to pay back. And then the Belize City Council says, well, they have a reserve, so in the event that they don't have the margins in their actual accounts, well, they have a reserve where they could pay you back at the end of the day. But when it comes to, like, my final question on this Hydro Belize thing, when it comes to the $29 per share, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think that's a good thing?
Again, with how those share values are determined usually is by them being traded. That's the entire thing. Like you said, we talk about the secondary market, or you have a stock market within the US, and supply and demand determines the level and the prices of those various shares and stocks and all of those. So that $29 per share, I believe that is probably like 50 cents above the share value that is listed by Fortis. Right, so it's a little bit more, but it's right around the value. And like I said, I do believe that Fortis has its shares listed as well. I believe that was in Canada though. But the whole idea is that they have their market information open, and there's ways of determining their share value. And I believe that we could trust the financial wherewithal of the company to ensure that they are having an accurate depiction of what the shares are valued at that point, again, given their financial prowess, right? So, and as you were speaking about the different investment opportunities, myself, I have provided, I do provide webinars on an occasional basis. I was planning to start again at the end of the month.
Nice.
But by the end of February, I should be at investing within Belize, right? So I should be at that webinar, because I'm going to start over again.
Well, you need to join us and talk about
start
that.
with the budgeting, and then we're going to move into financial planning, and then we're going to go into different items like retirement savings and all of those things, and especially savings and investing. That's going to be
people want those type of
topic.
information, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm going to. So look out for it. Again, I'll come back and talk to you about those, and we could get into that conversation real soon.
Well, Ramil, it's always a pleasure having you here with us. We definitely learned quite a lot based on those two topics that we had earlier today. We're going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, the next conversation switches into Via Latina. We'll be talking about exploring the world with Via Latina.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a new year, we remain committed to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepaid plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. Smart strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making Smart a reliable companion for every journey. Smart launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At Smart, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever, ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most: the communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. This is our second or third conversation, depending on how you're looking at it, and we are talking about exploring the world with Via Latina. We have here with us Benjamin Garcia, no stranger to you guys, but in a different capacity this morning, talking about this latest project, one of the ventures, perhaps one of your passion projects.
Absolutely.
That you have been taking on last year and bringing into this year as well.
Yeah.
Benjamin, such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. Thank you very much, Paula. And good morning, Belize. I'm very excited to be here.
We are excited to have you here. Now, I know for a lot of people starting the new year, they have on their bucket lists things that they want to take on. And usually traveling is also a part of that
Absolutely.
list. Let's talk a bit about Via Latina, what it is, and how we can take advantage of traveling using it.
Yeah, well, let me tell you first of all how it all started, because, you know, we all have that group chat with your friends saying, we're going to Cancun, we're
And
going
usually
to...
it doesn't,
Never
you don't make it
happens,
out of the
right?
group chat.
But someone in that group chat always takes the lead and says, you know what, I'm going to do all the logistics. You guys just send me your monies and I'm going to book everything. So I was that guy in my group chat. And so I had a group of friends. We were traveling all over Guatemala initially. And we were like, you know what if we start inviting other people? And, you know, maybe just charging a little extra so that we make some money. And that's how it all started. Obviously, we can't do that for too long because, you know, then you're running a business. So you need to register, you need to start paying taxes and so forth. So someone had to do that. My friends were not really fond of, you know, opening a business. I was that, you know, it's a passion project like you rightfully said. So I decided to open Via Latina. And Via Latina is pretty much my... I don't want to call it a side hustle because it's a full-blown business. I have 5 staff members that are fully employed by Via Latina. But it's more of one of those things that I do more because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really and truly enjoy traveling.
The
I
passion
enjoy
project.
I enjoy, you know, opening people's eyes to see what's out there. You know, like you rightfully said, 2026, everyone wants to travel. I think every year you say, well, this is my goal. I want to go here. I want to go there.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I can facilitate that for you, I would be honored.
But here's the thing, though, Ben. A lot of people find leaving their home country to be this overly expensive venture. For a lot of us who we dream of leaving our home country and traveling to even parts of Central America, it feels so out of reach because it costs a lot to travel. How do you explain to people that it's a lot easier than you think?
Absolutely. I mean, let's start with one of the packages that I currently have, and it's to travel to El Salvador. El Salvador, as it is right now, is one of the safest countries in Central America. It's booming in tourism.
Beautiful. So many things you can do
technology,
there.
Everything is just so fast-paced over there. And I decided to travel to El Salvador for that specifically because it opens your eyes to new things. Looking at the cost of traveling, transportation is a major deal. And so I have counterparts in Guatemala and in El Salvador that facilitate all of this for me. And so it's way easier to take a group than going by yourself. So when I take a group, we're taking a highest van, for example, with 15 persons in that van, we split the cost. And so whatever discounts I also get over in El Salvador for accommodations, I extend that to my guests. So my cheapest package starts at $750.
Wow.
And that includes a 4-day trip with transportation and accommodation included. And it's three-star accommodation. So it's not just a little Airbnb or a hostel. You're staying at a nice hotel.
Wow.
You can take nice photos for Instagram and, you know, you make memories. So it's very cheap.
For a lot of people, that's less than a plane ticket.
Yeah.
To just get to these.
And here's the best part: you only have to pay me half, and then I book you in, and then you pay the other half right before the trip. So I take that. Obviously, I need to put some money out of my pocket to cover the rest, but you know, you just have to cancel that out before the trip. So it's not that expensive. And if you put it into perspective, how much are you spending for a coffee? You go for a latte, I think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's probably like $8.50. How many lattes are you having for the week? How many drinks are you having over the weekend? How many times are you hanging out?
And if you're drinking a matcha, it's $15.
Yeah, I was just going to say, where are you getting lattes for $8.50? I'm spending $15.
Yeah. And you know, Paul, you've also advocated for spendings and how you can use your money, financial literacy, and how you're spending your monies. What are you allocating them to?
Right.
Maybe this is one of your guilty pleasures, and you want to travel. Then you spend with a purpose. I learned that from you, so thank you.
No,
for that.
definitely, and you plan to do it, right? So you set your money aside. Just like you're saying, instead of spending that $15 on a matcha, say, all right, I have this vision to go to El Salvador with Via Latina, so at the end of the day, I'll put that money aside to do just that. And then you say, you have a goal for me, $750. Can I meet that? Well, realistically, I can if I put that money aside.
Yeah, and you know, I've been doing I think this is about, so in February, I'm doing my 17th trip so
Wow.
far. And this obviously includes the 5 trips that I took with my friends prior, and then 12 more that I've done so far as a business. We're going to El Salvador, and we're going to be exploring for 4 days, and this is mainly for couples. You know, it's Valentine's in February, so we're leaving February 12th, that's a Thursday, and we're coming back on Monday. So you should be back in Belize on Monday at 7 in the morning.
Do you have specific experiences that people can
Yes.
expect when they go to El Salvador?
Absolutely. So the first one is Cerro Verde, which is a national park. It's very close to the border.
Yeah,
So
I've
we go
visited.
there. It's beautiful.
It is.
If you want to do the hike up to the volcano, it's also even better
Oh
up
my
there.
gosh.
You've been there, you said,
Yes,
right?
I've been there
How was your
last year in
experience there?
October. We went to Cerro Verde. They have stunning volcanoes. I did not get to go up to the top to actually see one of the volcanoes, but I know that there are hikes available there. But one of the things I wanted to experience that I was also not able to is the surfing. They have like black beaches, and you can go surfing there, which you
Yes.
can't do in Belize.
Yeah, so Surf City is actually very, very big there. So unfortunately for people who think they might just go there to swim, you really can't, right?
Mhm.
It's for surfers. So if you're into surfing, go give
We
it a
might
shot.
not know how to surf, but you know, if you want to see it, you could do that, and it's very close enough. at
Yeah,
least.
so there's Surf City, but we also go to nice places like Cafe Albania. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, when people go to El Salvador, they take photos on this colorful slide, right? That is Cafe
We
Albania.
passed the area there, yeah.
It's a very beautiful place. There's a lot of culture experience as well. For the most part, we always go there as sightseers, but there's a lot of people who go there to truly explore and immerse themselves. And the beauty about traveling is old, young, it doesn't matter, you know, everyone finds something of their interest when they're there. So
Yeah.
I've had people as old as 79 go on a trip with me, and as young as 12 years old. Yeah, so these are just some of the photos that, you know, some of my past customers have sent me. And these are just some of the experiences you can expect when...
And then, of course, the food. You go for the pupusas.
The pupusas. Yes, you would absolutely enjoy. Every single corner in El Salvador has pupusas, and they're very cheap.
Yes, man. You go to the pub of pupusas.
What's the difference, or how elevated is it compared to?
I mean, the different types. They have margarita pupusas.
No, man.
I'm not even joking.
They have, okay, hold on. Let me boast about Belize though. We have pretty good.
No, we have
pupusas
good,
here.
exactly.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
But I think it's a variety that you can get there. Anything you could think about, stone pupusa, any pupusa there, it's there.
Wow. I love that.
So El Salvador is just one of the destinations we're going to. So that's in February, but in April we're going to Colombia. So that's another. Via Latina is about traveling all over Latin America, and don't take my word for it, but hopefully by December we end up in Brazil as well. So we have quite a lot going on, and so I will be traveling myself to make contacts with different companies that I will be working with when we go there, because you know I want to make sure that everyone has a good time and everything is straightened out as much as possible.
What's the next trip to Venezuela?
That's a very good question. I don't know, Paul. I don't know if we can
It's
go there
Latin
just yet.
America.
Well, maybe we can start traveling there pretty soon. I don't think there's any flights there. Have they resumed
I don't
already?
think so.
You don't think so?
No.
But I can definitely take
You've
you
been
to Colombia.
before?
Yes, I have been there before. Absolutely. And it was a very beautiful experience. I enjoyed the arepas and everything that they had to offer, you know.
Yeah.
I think that it's a beautiful country. The people are very patriotic. I think that they have a lot to offer. It is very unfortunate to see what's happening in the geopolitical realm, right? But that is something that I'm not very well experienced in. I'm not qualified to speak on. But
I wanted to just quickly clarify or verify, really, because you mentioned going to Brazil, going to Colombia, and in this case, the more recent one will be El Salvador. Are these traveling by land?
some of them are, some of them aren't. So El Salvador's one, yes, is by land because we pretty much stop along the way at the different destinations. When we go to Antigua, Guatemala, Cayala, we hike the volcanoes. So Acatenango, we've done Tajumulco, we're going to do Santa Maria pretty soon as well. Those we go by land. If we're going to Colombia, then we take flights from here to Panama, Panama to Colombia. And Paul, maybe someday Venezuela, we take one more flight from Colombia to Venezuela.
There, right?
And then Brazil.
One of the things I appreciate about what you do is you connect this whole hemisphere, Latin America, Central America, right? Whereas sometimes we look at Belize as Caribbean and we think, all right, I want to go to Trinidad, I want to go to St. Vincent, Grenada, these different Caribbean countries. And here you are showing us that we also have an identity in Latin America that we can actually connect to as Belizeans. My question though is, what's the value of traveling?
Very good question. Paul, if you speak to a millionaire, I've spoken to quite a few, fortunately enough, they always travel for ideas. And so when you go to a different country, the first time I ever saw a taxi with a screen on it. Now, it doesn't sound too futuristic, but I've never seen one in Belize. I probably saw one in Belmopan. I don't know if the person did
you
it.
say taxi man on their phone screen, but
So these guys had a screen on top of their taxi, and they're selling ad spaces. So they would probably be your competition in Belize, because you guys do ads, right? So they're doing it out there in their taxi. So while they're driving all over the city, they have your ads on top of that taxi. And I was like, why has no one done that in Belize? Right? That's an idea. Then you go to restaurants. So I'm all into tourism. I don't know if you guys know, but before I started doing marketing, I worked at some of the top tourism destinations in Belize. That's where I started off from, in tourism. And so it gives you a lot of ideas on how to better your service, cuisine, marketing ideas. Now that I'm into marketing, content creating, you collaborate with people, and that's how you expand your network. I always say your network is your net worth, right? So that's one of the values that I see in traveling. And of course, making memories and having stories to tell. I mean, at some point you're gonna be talking to someone. I have stories to tell all day if we were to stay here. Because of traveling.
And the name itself, Via Latina, where'd that come from?
Well, it's because of Latin America. So Via Latina, it's pretty much the Latin way. So it's, you know, all over Latin America. I sat there, I thought about it, and there were so many names popping all over the place. And initially I was a little bit hesitant to stray away from selling the Belize product. But I realized that, you know, at the end of the day, it's a business and there's competition, and I don't think that I was ready to compete locally. Maybe at some point I do. And so I started doing it outside instead. I didn't see anyone else doing it. I think there's a few other people that are doing it now. But it's good, you know, competition is good. That's how they push you to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for people who would like to take advantage of the different tours that you will be having available, you said that the upcoming one will be El Salvador.
Yes.
When can they start payment, and of course, how can they reach out to you?
Absolutely. So my number is all over Facebook. So it's 629-3604. If you want to shoot me a WhatsApp, you know, I'll be happy to give you all the details. That is for the El Salvador one. That is fully confirmed as it is right now. But for April, as I mentioned, we also have to Colombia. I will have all the details on that pretty soon. You know, prices fluctuate a lot with flights and so forth. So we're ironing that out first, and then I'm going to have it out pretty soon. So 629-3604 is the number. Again, you only need to pay half the price. And once you pay me that half, that's it. You're fully booked. You pay the other half right before the trip. That includes transportation, accommodation, and all the tours that I mentioned. And of course, the food now. That food part, I leave it up to you. So we were talking earlier about pupusas and everything that you can enjoy when you go to El Salvador. Everyone's belly is different. Everyone's taste buds are different. So I don't take that responsibility on. I let you do your thing, eat whatever you want to eat, and that's on you. Alcoholic beverages is the same. You know, once again, El Salvador is a beautiful country. It's one of the countries that is leading in a lot of things. I think there's a lot to learn from, and you know, whether doesn't matter what you're into, you know, you can go to El Salvador and learn something new, and who knows, maybe make friends while you're there.
Absolutely. My final question has to do with safety. People want to know that when they're traveling, they're leaving their homes, they're going to be safe. What can you tell them?
Absolutely. So the 3 drivers that work for me have a combined experience of over 40 years driving all over Guatemala and in El Salvador, and so I take great pride when it comes to safety. We also carry a tour guide with us who is from El Salvador, so he's from the country and knows the area very, very well. We get all permits to cross the borders. I don't take minors without their parents, so that's part of the safety. So I understand there's a whole documentation process where you can get a letter and they can go with their aunt and so forth. I don't do that, simply, once again, for safety. And in the end, El Salvador has done a pretty good job at keeping themselves safe. So, you know, by extension, we are also safe exploring their country. So in terms of safety, nothing has ever happened. As I mentioned, it's my 17th trip already. Everything has always gone smooth. Probably a punctured tire along the way, but that's a good excuse to stop for coffee somewhere. So
and a great story to tell as well.
And a great story to tell, yeah. So it's always a good time when you're traveling, you know, and I always encourage people to do so. I know it's one of those things that is not a necessity, but sometimes becomes a really, really good commodity when you start looking at what you can get from traveling.
All right. Well, Benjamin,
love
a
that.
pleasure having you here.
Thank you
So much for joining us. And hopefully we all get to travel this 2026 and do so using Via Latina. A pleasure, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you very much.
All right, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have a game to play, Paul. Mind over matter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. They are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Screws Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
This Christmas is extra special for us at BB Insurance because it's our first. You welcomed us into your lives, and we couldn't be more grateful. Your trust means everything. From all of us at BB Insurance, thank you for being a part of our journey. Here's to many more holidays together. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a new year, we remain committed to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepay plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. Smart strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making Smart a reliable companion for every journey. Smart launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At Smart, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever. Ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most. The communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
Alrighty, welcome back. This is our final segment of the morning, and we've been itching to get to this mind over matter activity.
We're here already.
We're not completely sure what to expect for this game, but our understanding is that there will be some pictures placed on the screen, and our job is to remember it, Paul.
Something like that.
And it's apparently going to disappear, and then we have to try to recollect if we knew exactly, if we remember what those images were. So we're going to start with the first round, and we're going to go to that now, I suppose.
Is that all right? So that's essentially the game.
That's it. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah. So.
All right. Do we go now? It's all right. So do I?
I pressed first.
Go ahead.
Apple, chair, clock, sneaker, book.
Yeah, that's it.
It was 5 items?
Yeah.
Yes. All right,
All
got
right,
it.
so that's it. That's the game.
All right, let's go.
That makes okay, cool.
Okay. Whoop!
No, that was too quick. That was like we didn't even look at it. What did you think already?
Because I done my mic.
Right, that's alarming.
Okay, it's a puppy, it's a candle, it's a spoon, it's a phone, it's a hat.
Yeah, you said.
Yes, I.
No, you didn't get it in the right order.
Window. I don't forget.
No.
Window. Was it a phone? A window. I know there was a bottle. There was a pen. Okay, I don't remember. Go.
Window, pen, bottle, key, plate.
Ah, shoot. I was going to say plane. Pen.
That was too easy.
Okay. What's the last thing?
You have a flower, you have a watch.
The watch was in the next one. I was in the middle.
Yeah, you have a flower, you have, I know there's a broken glass at the end.
Okay,
I know there's
that's
a
what
watch. And then there's two things.
Okay, there was a flower, there was a pillow,
a
watch, Broken glass.
No, broken glass is at the end. There's something in between.
Flower, pillow, watch, bag, pack, and then glass.
Glass.
Dang it.
Still get it wrong. You got
Okay.
it pillow second. All right, let's go again.
Car, banana. Car, banana, mirror, lamp.
No, there's one more.
There's something before the lamp.
Because you the top, man.
Sorry, I'm
One
saying the same thing you're saying.
we could talk.
Okay, go.
Car, banana, mirror, lamp. I don't forget. I may remember, I know I forget.
Okay, I know how to do the next one, then you
bad
go.
picnic. We're just distracted in our class. No, we just have to bring the buzzer.
Okay.
You remember? You know, try? Cup, towel, glasses, something book.
Yeah.
Wallet. Yes.
Cup,
towel,
towel,
glasses,
sunglasses, wallet, book. Honestly, I never remember that though.
Yeah, I just remember the glasses. I don't remember the glasses. All right, let's go again.
Door, orange, remote, paintbrush, coin.
In this wrong order.
Never order.
Nice.
Laptop, socks. Laptop, socks. Was there an umbrella there? Something paper.
Yeah. A cup?
No. Oh yes, okay, so laptop, socks, cup, something paper.
Umbrella?
Okay, laptop, socks, cup, umbrella, paper.
I think maybe you got it.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. Fork, mirror, fork, bag, pack, mirror.
Almost there.
Something then a plug.
Mm-hmm.
What was before the plug? I don't remember.
It's a soccer ball.
Ah, dang it. There has to be some other clue to get to remember it.
You just have to just kind of like remember the image and try not
memory's
to
terrible.
do the detail. I mean, I'm losing, so you're better than me. Bread, speaker, scissor. Bread, scissor, speaker, key, jacket.
Yes. Whew. This is like good brain exercise.
It is, it is.
I don't even remember what I saw at the end.
Plant, candle, camera, slippers, plate.
Dang it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way
That
too
was
easy,
good.
man.
That one was good. Bottle, headphone,
Mm-hmm.
something,
Time, clock.
clock, soap,
No, before soap. Purse.
purse. What did you do there?
Gonna put it on your shoulders. All right.
Fan.
There's a fan, there's a rat, there's a pencil, there's a bowl, and there's like a quilt, a blanket, something folded.
Yes, that's a good one. Dang it. Hat, spoon, mirror, phone, sneaker.
Yeah, you just recite that and you
Yup.
just wait for that.
I know I left my brain. Don't remember.
Book, cup, glasses, remote, and a bag.
Yes,
Yeah,
good. That was good, Paul.
That was it.
Well, now we know officially that both of us have pretty terrible memory.
Actually, we have a relatively good memory. It
don't
wasn't
feel-
excellent, but it wasn't so bad that we forgot everything,
Yeah.
right? So
I was trying to find patterns to remember, like some letter at the front. So maybe if it's like a camera cup, you know, the C's at the front, but I would have needed more time.
I'd give us a B plus.
I wouldn't give myself a B plus for that. I'd give myself a solid C.
Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
For me, I would give myself a C.
Well, I'll give you a B plus. I'll be a good teacher.
All right, well, that's just one activity that you guys can take part in. Pretty easy. It's called Mind Over Matter. And of course, it also helps you with some memory as well. But Paul, we do have to wind things down and wrap it up. And it's been a wonderful Tuesday morning. We had great conversations. We learned about remittances, and, you know, we even tried to make it a little bit sexy, you know, for persons who might have collected remittances but didn't know that that's exactly what was taking place. We also understood a bit more about what that 1% increase taxation will look like, if it will impact Belizeans collecting remittances here at home, or if it will be something that persons sending these monies will have to pay that extra finance. We also understood a bit more about investing in Belize, especially where the hydro electricity is concerned, and the opportunities that exist in that area as well.
Yeah, I think personally for me, I'm interested in investing because I know that going into the future, that will be a huge part of my life and my financial freedom journey. I think that if you want to have somewhat of a solid retirement, and also if you just want to generate more income and expand your margins, but also into retirement, to have a secure retirement, then investing is the way to go, right? So whether it's a fixed saving like we talked about with Ramil, in terms of putting your savings in a high yield saving accounts where you get 6 to 7% on it annually, and as that increase, that 6 to 7% increase, or whether it's the Hydro Belize limited investment where you could look at it long term and continuously receiving dividends, or whether it's BWS or BEL or one of these companies. At the end of the day, you just have to, I have this rule of thumb. If you don't understand what you're getting into, it's probably best you don't get into it.
Yeah.
You have to seek to understand. Seek to know, so that when you ask yourself where's your money going, you have this have an understanding. I think a lot of times we rush into these things without having an understanding, and that's where we fall flat on our behind and have to kind of clean up mess and try and start over again. So I guess that's my thought process with the whole investment thing, but it was certainly a good conversation.
Well, you can invest in that, or you can invest in experiences and travel via Latina. We had Benjamin Garcia on set with us talking about some travel opportunities that exist as recent as April coming up, where they're planning to head to El Salvador. He's also taking a trip to Colombia, and then hopefully later on this year to Brazil as well. So if you had traveling on your bucket list for 2026, there's an opportunity for you. And it's also affordable, Paul. Yeah. He spoke about some fees costing as low as $700 to go to El Salvador. That's amazing. And so if that's something that you're looking to experience, you can definitely reach out to them. But we have to wrap things up at this time. It's been a wonderful Tuesday. And if anyone's celebrating a birthday today, we want to say happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com.
You also catch us live on Facebook every weekday morning at Open Your Eyes BZ,
as well as Instagram for behind the scenes contents. That's OIE Belize. You can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday, Belize, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.